Okay.
Hey guys, and welcome to Tanashi's Movie Corner. And for today's movie review, I will be reviewing The Pyramid. I'm going to say up front, I bought this movie for $4.99 at Best Buy after seeing one of my friends on here, Paul from Paul Reviews, who picked up this movie as well. And it came out in 2014. And for me, I didn't know what to really expect going into this movie. I like the location. I like that they used Egypt and they had a pyramid as a horror setting, and I don't see too many movies where they do that. I know there are quite a few movies that do that. A lot of them are not theatrical release movies, which is what this was. They're lower budget. But anyway, and this was from producer Alexandre Aja. I probably said that wrong. I'm really bad at that, but he was the director of The Hills Have Eyes, which is a pretty well-known, horror film. So I was curious about it, and I like the setting and what have you. And going into it, there was a little mystery to it, and again, given that it is in the pyramid, you have kind of a confined area, which can work really well, dark lit. And the fact that they have a archaeological team who attempts to unlock these secrets, they're following, and they go in looking for this machine or what have you. That's this expensive machine, but I don't know. I feel like it had potential. It didn't deliver, but I feel like the potential was there. So I'm gonna go and talk about the pluses for this movie. Again, setting is a pretty good plus. At least I think so. I think the pyramid works. I almost would expect that to be in more horror movies than what I see, but I think that works well. Get right into it. The actual creature that's in the pyramid, why that creature's there, what that creature is doing, the whole reasoning behind it. That was all interesting to me. I actually enjoyed that little part of it, just finding out all the know-how. I think there was a lot of story potential there that didn't quite deliver. CG's pretty bad. Not gonna lie, pretty disappointing, and I'm more or less a fan of CG, but if you're on a budget, this movie very much looks like it's on a budget, then you need to restrict CG to bare minimum, and you do there's ways to do that. There's a lot of horror movies that kind of do that. A lot of times the suspense and the horror of it is not seeing what's killing these people, what's doing these things, but by pure sound effects and by kind of the aftermath. And there's just ways that you can shoot around this stuff. And when you have bad CG like that in there, it reminds me quite a bit of, say, the Sci-Fi Channel and some of the B-rated horror movies that are on there. And for a theatrical movie, I just expected more. And again, if you can't do that, don't do it. Or if you have to do it, keep it to a minimum. And they didn't do that here. As far as the cast is concerned, I really thought the cast did a terrible job. There's so many bad lines. And again, and that's not entirely their fault, I'm sure, but you have to be at least convincing. There's no convincing at all, and by any of it. Also, at a point through the movie, it looked like it was going to end, and then it didn't, and then I thought it was going to end again, and it didn't, and then finally we got to the ending, which I don't know why they dragged it on that long, because nothing really changed. So it felt overly long for no reason. And I said I was going to get into the positives, and here I am going on to the negatives. So you can already tell how I feel about this movie. So yeah, positive. Go back to it here. Story. There's a little story behind the creature and everything. I like that. They explain that. That's one of the things that a lot of horror movies don't deliver on, and I would have preferred a bigger focus on it. So, but for what was there, I like that. I like the setting that was in the pyramid and everything. I think that's a really good setting to have it. And I liked the ending credits song. Don't know what it was. Have to look it up. And that's it. Actually, that's everything. So I guess I did cover about all of it. There's a lot bad. The movie didn't even feel like it was that long. It's 89 minutes, and it could have even been shorter. So there's a few story points that didn't make sense. Acting was terrible all around. CG wasn't good whatsoever. No scares at all. Not even like a small jump. Just nothing. And if I hadn't known beforehand going into this that this was a theatrical release, I would never have guessed, because it doesn't deliver on any of that. So it is, like I said, I got it for like $4.99 at Best Buy. That's about what it's worth. Honestly, it's not good. And rating it 1 through 10, I'm gonna let the troll do it here. So troll, what do you say?
I think that this movie was. I thought it was scary. I mean, you had a big CG monster, right? I mean, just the effects were scary on their own. I mean, look how bad they were. And the acting, oh my gosh. When I can act in the movie better than these main characters, that's saying something. And some of them were a little more well known. Like, I think, Dennis O'Hare, like, I think people know him from something. But yeah, you couldn't even tell from this, like, this so horrific, so bad. And in order to give it a rating, I'm gonna have to go and say a 3. I'll give it a 3. That may be generous, but what do you know? I'm a sucker for the ending song. And I do like that it takes place in a pyramid. It takes place in the dark, man. In the dark. That should have been terrifying on its own. But whatever. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna go play with some Legos.
Yeah, that'll do it. 3, and that probably is being generous. But there were 3 parts that I liked. So there you go. Anyway, guys, have you seen this movie? What did you think about it? Do you disagree with me? Hopefully there's at least some people that like this movie. I don't know. I'm just not one of them. But anyway, hopefully you like this vid. So click that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Watch my other vids, and share your comments with me. I like hearing your opinions on this. So until next time, peace.